Welcome to the Unfiltered Path podcast, where we explore life's journey without the constraints of filters. In a world saturated with highlight reels, we dive deep into the true essence of individual experiences, offering listeners an uncensored glimpse into the triumphs, struggles, and transformative moments that define us. Our mission is to provide hope, inspire resilience, and remind you that every path, no matter how winding or rocky, can lead to growth and enlightenment. Join us as we navigate the uncharted territories of truth and to be moved, be inspired, and discovered that you're not alone on this unfiltered journey of life. My name is Graham, owner of Valüd Productions, and I am one of your co-hosts here on the Unfiltered Path podcast, joined by...
Hey guys, I'm Trinity Baker. I am a mindset coach, aka a mindset hacker, and I'm joined here by...
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm the owner of Aerialist. I'm an Aerialist. That is fancy for performing suspended in the air.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank all our listeners for joining us today. And as the holidays are approaching, it tends to be a time of gratitude. And so I'd like to kick off today's podcast with something that I'm grateful for and just the idea of gratitude. So for me, I always have such trouble coming up with a single pinpointed thing that I'm grateful for, because to me, I am grateful for every day I wake up to have the opportunities to even have struggles, have good things, just to really be alive, because I come from a place where it was very almost not. So I am very grateful to be alive and for all the things that brings. What about you, Trinity? What are you grateful for today?
Graham, that is such a great point. Great. I love that you just said this. I got to pinpoint this here. You're grateful for the opportunity to have challenges.
Mm-hmm.
What a mindset shift that is. Yeah. When I start every single call with one of my clients, we always talk about gratitude first, because I think that gratitude is literally the number one thing in life. Live by gratitude, because even if you're in a really crappy situation, going through a divorce, loss of someone you love, homeless, broke as heck, regardless of where you are, if you are not grateful for, let's say you're broke as heck, right? If you're not grateful for the fact that you have a little bit of money, you will never receive more money.
Mm-hmm.
Have to be grateful for what we have. So what am I grateful for? I don't know. We just got done a really great meeting with 40 plus other business professionals. And I just sat there at awe that, one, this is my life. And honestly, connections with other businesses and other entrepreneurs and other business experts is why I'm here today. I don't think I would have the knowledge, the motivation to do what I do if I wasn't connected to amazing people like you. So I'm grateful for you too. Danielle, what about you? How about you?
You made me think of another thought, but I'll start with the original. Lately, I have been appreciating myself and the fact that I didn't give up on myself. I think I've been kind of just giving myself more of a pat on the back for not giving up, because I could have and I just didn't, and it's incredibly rewarding. I am also grateful, for the simple things, just to be snuggled with my kids, and just I live in a great home now, things like that. So the basic. But the thing that you triggered was, there was a brief moment when I was up on a balcony. I was looking down at 200 BNI peers, all clapping for me, looking up at me. I remember going, okay, that moment was a reward. Get chills. It was more than it being 200 people. It was because it was those 200 people, and the fact that they would even clap for me or look up to me in any forum is a compliment. so that kind of super came in my mind when you guys are talking. Just that it was a minute. It was, and I had anxiety, but I'll never forget it, ever. It was my favorite audience clap ever.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
I remember I literally just got chills. We're on Zoom, so like I literally just got chills. So I remember
Well, it
that,
is Maine.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is Maine and cold as heck. But just I remember that exact feeling when I was public speaking for the first time, thinking, wow, look at the domino effect that led me here in Colorado, which by the way, like you guys know, I live in Rangeley, so I love the mountains and I love the snow. Colorado is literally like 20 times what Rangeley, Maine has to offer. And I'm just sitting here, I was speaking, and behind me was the mountains. And it was beautiful. There was like wild elks or whatever the heck they have out there walking behind me in this big like A-frame with big windows behind me. And I'm just like, look at what led me here. Gratitude for what led me here was one meeting with one person that I almost canceled. Right. We have no idea where it will lead us.
Most definitely. And the thing that I always like to talk about gratitude with is, I don't know, science. It kind of brings me back to this like science analogy where, 50 years ago, scientists didn't know what some of the things were in the atoms or different things out in space. But as technology has evolved, they've been able to look deeper into this atom. And as they look, they find new things. Same thing with space, more technology. And as they look, they find more stars because they're looking. You know what I mean? And the same thing with gratitude. So like, if you are grateful and stay in that grateful and like, move forward, there's going to be more things for you to be grateful for as you look towards that gratitude.
It's so empowering. That is so empowering. So I do weekly master classes for all my clients. And this is just so funny. I literally wrote a note this morning, like, hey, my masterclass this week is going to be focused because we get what we focus on. So if you are sitting here thinking I'm broke, or I'm too busy, I'm stressed, overwhelmed, you're going to get more overwhelmed, more broke, more stressed. And so like that is a simple mindset hack that I teach, right? But that's gratitude. The more that you focus on gratitude and what you're grateful for, which seems like the most simplest thing in the world, the more you get. Gratitude is a key to the door. And when you open it, it just flows in for more to be grateful for.
It's also the most misspelt word, one of them.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
So even your brain tries to trick you.
Yeah.
Your brain's like tries to get you in a negative place, and then you mess around and you spell the word wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's people like it's the most misspelled word. I did a whole 60-second presentation on gratitude once, and the theme of it was how it was a misspelled word. It was a witty one. That's good.
I like that. Let's talk about for a second empowering words. What are some other empowering words that you guys find yourself saying on a daily basis?
I like courage, and because when you were talking about the atom, that like curiosity and courage, and bold. I feel like I'm naming the gym wall I was just at recently. It also said grit.
But all of those words are there on that gym wall as motivation for the players who are on the gym floor, right? And so if you think about like what is a disempowering word that you say often that you really flip, right? So like I work with my clients to be like, they would be like, I'm becoming happy or I'm starting to be happy. And I'm like, no, whoa, you are becoming even more of a happier person because you have to give credit to what you currently are.
Most definitely. I think I don't know if this would be a normal empowering word to some people, but one of the ones that I always focus on a daily basis is acceptance. Acceptance of everything in the now. Just acceptance is like the thing that has changed the way my life has been. Just acceptance.
It's like I don't know what it is, but masculines in my life recently, I feel that's been a common theme that they've been kind of teaching me. So it's interesting that you would say that word. I think it's wonderful that you said that word, and
Yeah.
it's not like at the forefront, but as it should be.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Yeah, it's come up a
it's
couple
just
times.
like it, when you can accept what is, it gives you the opportunity to like either, figure out if you need to change something or just let go or, just be, there's so many like different things that can come out of acceptance, but it's hard. It's definitely hard.
So when it's really hard, because we know a lot of days and a lot of hours and a lot of minutes are really hard to accept.
Mhm.
How do you, when you don't want to accept something or it's really hard to accept something, how do you refocus or let's say force yourself to accept something?
Yeah.
Gratitude. You're not alone.
Yeah, that's a big one. Not alone. Surrounding myself with people. Gratitude. Gratitude is it circles back around. So it's like acceptance, and when it's hard to accept that thing, finding that gratitude that can then usually pull me out. But yeah, I think the biggest one is like not being alone and like either calling someone or putting myself in a in a place where there's like-minded people or getting with a close friend, you know what I mean? Like I think those are probably the biggest things that help with that.
Well, some of my deepest wounds were extended in healing process because I didn't realize I wasn't alone, or it's so like arrogant. The ego creates that friction.
Right.
But the truth is, like, look at what our community has just gone through. And yet we have other parts of the world calling that normal. You know what I mean? My empathy is like expanding lately, but yeah, we're not alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Totally.
no situation nobody else hasn't felt.
Exactly.
Or it wouldn't have even exist. Like the book The Giver, like that's just like my mind kind of goes there. And I've been through some dark stuff to be able to say that. But it's remembering to like accept and realize you're not alone in all these like minimal things throughout the day that can kind of super shift. That's when it's helpful.
It's so true. And when you talk about like calling people or surrounding yourself with people who can like help you through that, right? I think it's really important to stay focused on what is this here to teach me? I mean, that's really what I ask myself so many times a day. Like, what is this email? What is this phone call? What is this meeting? What is this opportunity here to teach me or give me? Is something that I focus on a lot. And it goes back to gratitude. I'm grateful for this really challenging opportunity, whether it be, personally or business wise. Everything is here as a lesson. In the end, here's the thing: is if we don't learn that lesson, we will continue to get the lesson until we learn it. So my advice always to my clients is, and my friends and family, when they want it, I don't ever give unsolicited advice, but when they call me and say, hey, because I'm someone who will tell them exactly what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, is learn the lesson now. Because if I ask you now, do you want to learn this lesson again in 3 months, 6 months, and a year? You're going to say no. Well, then show me that you don't want to learn this lesson again. And I mean that with all love, in all respect. And I say that, hey, I love you more than anything right now. But what you need to hear is learn it now, because I will talk to you again in 3 or 6 months if you don't learn this lesson now.
Most definitely.
Her mama came out on that.
I know. Listen, and when I talk to my 9-year-old like that, it's not very well perceived, to tell you that much.
I don't know how to talk to these kids, to be honest. Like I realize that I don't know how to get to their level. I don't know what I'm doing, how to talk to them. Sometimes they're smarter than me, but then sometimes I realize how they're like, I don't even know anything. Like that you said, John will look at me sometimes and be like, what?
Are we supposed to be able to get to their level? Like I find myself calling my 9 bro, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
All right, so
Danielle, I got a question for us.
Yeah, kind of. All right, ready? In one sentence, what would you believe is the secret to living a meaningful life?
Oh my God. One sentence. The
That's a
power,
tough one.
the power of your mind. I think it's the power of your mind. I really do, because look, the power of your mind can be focusing on what way are you passionate about what you do? What way are you supposed to be fulfilled in this world? What can you control? What can you learn? The power of your mind literally is everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
definitely.
was all a dream. That's fine.
I think the number that is, or the sentence that's secret to the best life is the number 42. That's for all our listeners out there referencing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Dumb joke.
I've never seen that, and so I'm like totally lost right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, is he talking about like
in the movie? There's this like robot, and they ask what the meaning of life is, and like the key to the universe, and they're thinking this thing is gonna like give them this like amazing answer, and it just says 42.
Is that not like a sure?
Yeah.
That's literally what life gives us. Like that, when you ask for an
here's a number. That's what, because like I do believe in like a universal code and like the power of mind and
for sure. But yeah, anyway, I think that kind of says a lot about what it is. You know, the one sentence about 42. The universe is I agree with Trinity. It is your mind. Like, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and one of the things that they were talking about is that one of the things that sets us humans as a species apart from like other animals really is that we have that power to create something out of nothing, you know, like through dreams and like, yeah, I totally agree.
That is so true. I remember standing in my bathroom, listening, getting ready in the morning, listening to motivational speeches by some amazing person like I do every single day. And thinking, wow, I have so much in my brain. Wouldn't it be cool to teach people this? Guys, that was literally less than a year ago. Like it's insane that I am now doing that, but that's creating something out of nothing.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, like being we're co-creators. It was all a dream. I understand.
It was all a dream. It was all a dream. And listen, your dreams, if you can dream it, it's possible. Like
100%.
If it is in your brain, you can do it.
Facts. All right. If someone says to you, I have good news or bad news, generally speaking, which news do you prefer to hear first?
Bad news for sure. Then you can like cherry on top it with some positivity.
Yeah. I would have to agree on that one. I'd rather hear the bad news first, like be like, okay, that's that. And then you can usually, if you hear the positive news after, you can somehow like figure out how to like tie it together or like figure out where the overlap is, so you can turn that quote unquote negative news into just news.
Alchemy.
Yes.
That's where like the too optimistic. You guys, do you know how many people have said to me that I'm too optimistic? Can we talk about
this? That's why I thought I knew your answer.
What too optimistic even mean? Like in this,
I don't think it means anything.
In this circumstance here, you could tell me bad news and then tell me good news. I really don't care what way you tell me. And then I'm going to be like, okay, well, here's the positive part about the bad news. That's immediately where my brain goes.
Yeah, 100%. I totally.
That's just logical after a while.
Yeah.
Like that's just maturity in itself.
It takes practice to get to that point for sure.
It sure does.
It's like work. I mean, Danielle, working out and training and all that stuff, your brain like that is a muscle, just like, anything else in that, and you got to work it to get to that point to be able to see it. And if you want to even take it a level even further, if you're thinking of even like, like complete like enlightenment, connection to everything, like reality to even think of it as positive or negative is even just like limiting, you know what I mean? Because it's just news, you know, it just is. Everything just is, you know, whether it's positive or negative is like you're still combining it into some sort of label of some sort, you know.
You know what's insane is quantum physics double split experiment literally proved with a coin toss that luck isn't even real. So essentially, as long as you're so as long as you keep trying, so as long as you can do what negative or failure or what the fuck ever, so many times, you are guaranteed that coin flip of a win. And that's insane. So it's based off of the math of the measurements of the sound waves of something that should have, if you think about it as like bullets shooting at a wall at 2 slits, you would think the bullets would go directly through it and then go make 2 slits on the next wall, but they actually make arches and they expand out, right? So in that math, they can measure luck. That's crazy.
There is nothing as luck. I really don't like it when people even like say like you're lucky or he's lucky or she's
it's not real.
Nothing. Because I guarantee like people put in so much effort that you have no idea. Like people will say to me like, how are you always happy?
It's not luck, it's alignment.
Yeah.
The day when I tell somebody lucky me, I'm being sarcastic. I'm sarcastic. Like insert Snoop Dogg. I'd like to thank myself.
Oh my God, I love Snoop Dogg. I'd like to thank myself. Right? Because like if you look at everything that you look at something that someone would be like, you're lucky, right? So let's just look at something we have or something we've done or an opportunity we've had where someone would say, wow, that was really lucky. I guarantee that if we sit down and think about it, we can pinpoint what actions we took, what mindset we had, what consistency, which sometimes means years of consistency it took to get that. But people don't even see that. And then they say, well, you're lucky. No.
Recently, someone saw my ankle hang and they were like, oh my God, and made like a passing comment or whatever. I'm like, that took decades of pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You do. Like, and literally, there's no muscle to make stronger. It's how can you hang by your ankles? Can you hang by your hair? I'm hung by my neck. Is literally decades of pain tolerance, and a passing comment that's somehow minimal to like an exercise is hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's the same. That's a great analogy of like the whole what we're talking about here, because that's exactly what it is. It takes that consistency, that training, that tolerance to build up, you know, to like get to that point where you're essentially quote unquote making your own luck, you know.
I tell people, so it's funny because I think I'm funny. And so if I like, I'll say, oh, lucky me to people, and like in my head I'm giggling, like, or like if somebody this one guy, he keeps making other people portraits of their kids, and I write lucky them on the comment thing because I know one day it'll be somebody's gonna paint me and my kids, you know what I mean? And so like I always say it with like I'm intentional when I say lucky me because I don't believe in it at all.
We should make like this. We should make like take the words luck or lucky and like make every single, you know, the L and the C
like an acronym.
Yeah, an acronym.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, lucky. So like the C, for example, could be consistency because that's what it is. Like leverage. I don't know what you would stand for, but
leverage opportunities, consistently kicking ass.
Yeah.
Leverage.
Unacceptable. I don't know. But
leverage, understanding,
or loving
consistency.
Kick ass. Yeah. But that I mean that's
a dash.
Like counts. You know, someone the other day said like, oh my God, why do you get up so early? I can't do that. Well, when you realize that your routine literally puts you on a path for success, you look at your routine point out what doesn't put you on the success, change it up, have consistency, and you'll be on the path for success. I listen, I don't want to wake up early. I want to sleep in just like everyone else. When my eyes open and my alarm goes off at 4:45, I say to myself, is sleeping in right now going to get me to my goals? The answer is no every single morning. And that is why my feet hit that floor.
I wish something would do that when I'm watching TikTok videos and I become a zombie. I wish somebody would be like, hey.
Leverage, understanding, consistent kickoff, or leverage, understand, consistent knowledge.
Ooh, I like that. And then the why, you can even add the why onto the lucky and make it you or yourself.
Oh my God, I said opportunity and it was clearly not an O on that part. Okay, I just say. Well, much like gratitude, lucky is spelled wrong.
Danielle, you want to end us with one more question?
Yeah. What is an annual event that if you miss it, leaves you feeling like your year is somehow incomplete?
Ooh, I know this one.
Oh, I like that question. All right. I don't even know the answer.
So that's I know for me, every year, probably for the past 20 years, my family and we get together with this other group of family friends around the holidays, like New Year's time. And some reason, like when we were younger, 20 plus years ago, we decided when we met around the New Year or Christmas or whatever, we were going to write down our New Year's resolutions. You know what I mean? And the wife, Andy, from the other family would save them. And the next year, we looked to see if we completed our goals. And we've been doing it for 20 years, probably longer than that. Every year, we'll get together. We say what our goal is for the year. She keeps them. And then we circle back around the next year and look to see if we completed. And like, we get points if we did half or, made it. And yeah, it's just such a key piece that like kicks off the year, the holiday season, and like it just like sets the year up because like, okay, this year I'm going to do this, and I always have in the back of my mind like, I'm gonna win this goal, you know what I mean? And like I'm not too big on like the whole setting goals too much, especially like New Year's resolutions, because it's like I don't know, I think it's limiting, but just in this setting, if we miss that, I would be like, oh my God, we like make time for it to have everybody like, well, if they can't physically be there, we'll call in on Zoom. And yeah, so that's mine.
It's really cool. I want to start doing that with a group of family and friends. That's totally going to be my goal in the next month to arrange that. And I'm with you, Graham. I love to hear when other people say like, I'm not too much into setting goals. Neither am I. I think goals are very disempowering. And I'm like, so for celebration. So celebrate your small wins. And I think that they all add up to your big goal.
Exactly. Having things to strive for is good. You know what I mean? But like having it in such a limited box of like, this is my goal. Like it limits your potential for there to be something bigger that could conceivably come from whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, I'm all about like, I never goal set with my clients. Never, ever, 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 ever. What we do is we do discovery of vision. Like, what are your visions for every category of your life? Because I don't goal set at all. So what is mine? My birthday. Because hear me out. It's a week-long celebration. I was taught that we celebrate our life for an entire week, and that is your birthday week. Birthday week is a thing. And so if I didn't celebrate my birthday week, I think I would be lost.
That's awesome.
I agree, except without like to add some more interest. I think for me, it's like the month of May.
Birthday month?
And it's not even where my birthday is. Actually, Trinity are like a day apart. So yeah, we're so sweet.
Yes, we are.
And sarcastic.
Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to talk to everyone today. I hope that our listeners enjoy this unfiltered conversation from three professionals, but also personal. You know, we're humans. We go through it all. And I hope that we give you some hope that, hey, you may be struggling with something really big. Every single one of us do when we're still here, and we're doing pretty well.
Oh, I just say the month of May because it's Mother's Day, it's my daughter's birthday, it's my mother's birthday, and in like myself, so learning the law of attraction like in the early 2000s or whatever, and really implementing that into my life like right off. I remember the first dream board I saw actually come to manifestation, and it's crazy, but that's one of my months that I found out I had conceived my son. I gave birth to my daughter. I can't explain it, but shit goes down in May.
That's pretty cool.
Every year. And it's cool that I can almost count on that month too. I've made some of my greatest paintings in May. Like, it's just that space. I know I'm like, well, if I get to May, but it's been so consistent, you know, and it just is like remains surrounded in like great vibes is May.
That's awesome. That was a great question. And I challenge our listeners to come up with something as well that they can kind of have in their lives. And if not, feel free to join us here on the Unfiltered Path podcast to get some inspiration on how you can come up with some of these things. So I'd like to thank you all for listening today. My name is Graham, Valued Productions. You can find me on all social medias, VALUD Productions, all one word. Same thing with my website, that.com. I'm also joined with...
Hey, it's Trinity Baker, and you can find me. My website is basically the best place to find me, which is thetrinitybaker.com. But I'm on all your social media platforms as the same name, The Trinity Baker. And I post a lot of like empowering, inspiring content. So head on over just to continue to get inspired. And I'm joined here by my amazing friend.
Danielle, Hirsh, the owner of Aerial Jade. You can find me, I don't know, anywhere on media, really. Aerial Jade or Aerial Jade Art. Say I'm an artist. Actually, I identify with that the most. Yeah, website, live chat with me. That's the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening today, and stay tuned for next time on the Unfiltered Path podcast. Have a good day, everybody.